Hello, boys and girls. Another demo, the land of top hats. Unusual, odd couple here today. We're going to start an amazingly quiet 100-watt Emplexador Junior Custom, 212, very common for me, the G12H Vintage 30 combination. It's a little short on maybe handling all the wampum could possibly give, but for most of the way up, it's pretty safe. New guitar off the assembly line. This is our budget model. A very cool Barncaster that is lacquered on the body. Almost a one piece. Get one little extra piece here. Quite a cool rustic baby, but it sounds amazing. Good pine. Great neck. Great, amazing setup on the rest of it, but it came out unusually well. Much better than I thought. This is an Alnico 3 bridge. Very lively. That's a TopHat special there, and this is a 52 Alnico 5, Alnico 2 Duncan neck. And like I say, this is about a $8.99 guitar, so it's built with all the love and glory of the big ones, and the neck makes the biggest difference. But first time I really had a pine telly like this, and very impressed. What I want to especially show, besides a great sounding amp here, and we're going to be in the plexi mode, kind of set on 7s across the board, gain, master, presence, EQs in white, treble, middle, bass, the big British off or small American regular bright added to the volume knob, and then a separate fat off bright switch that is sort of a pre-EQ switch that adjusts the spectrum there a little bit. But very cool guitar. My man Jay Carney, master builder, is unbelievable. The setup, the action, everything is incredible. But what I wanted to say was about the Alnico 3, that more than, and I don't know if it's a combination with the body, but not as familiar with Alnico 3 and a Tele bridge, but it's beautifully varies with your, everything does, but how it saturates the amp just on how hard you're picking, that does it with more ease to me, that controllability, and it sounds more natural when it's going from, so we'll get up here, we'll go basically all the way up, tone down a little bit. So, what I'm saying is that dramatically changing how you're picking. It compresses just a little bit when you dig in, but all of a sudden it gives a lot more oomph to the amp and just super smoothly progresses from what doesn't seem like you have a very gainy sound. Big difference. Has a beautiful, always the right amount. In other words, it responds so naturally, you don't really notice it. not just even the drive, it's just amazing. And it finally compresses when you dig into it, but just... Snappy in the bottom of the 5. But nice and sweet up top. Very cool, beautiful sound. The middle end fade. Alnico 5 and Alnico 2. Just to give you a quick taste of that, she's a beauty. And then another very different new animal we just got in here is the tribute to a guitar, roughly speaking, that I had when I was a kid, about 1980 or 81, I'd say around there. Although this one is Swamp Ash. I had a Charvel in the Strat headstock era of like I say, early days of Charvel, and it was an all black, no pick guard, one pickup, one knob. Was the before the Floyd Rose era. Just had a regular Strat tremolo, but it had a bound ebony. This is actually rosewood, but it's quite dark and it almost comes across like ebony. But and that was what is exceedingly rare. Try to find an old real Charvel instead of all maple or maple with rosewood to have ebony with binding. So it's cool, black fingerboard, black guitar. So it's kind of a throwback to that baby. And now this is roasted swamp ash. This is a retrospect Duncan bridge, and with a 250K is very interesting. It's just very interesting how it turns down, with no tone knob and loading it down a little bit being a 250. It keeps it very mellow. It ends up needing, where you would think with no tone knob you would need more treble setup on the amp, but it's pretty mellow across the board, and to me tends to need more treble on the amp than usual. But what was it other than mode? We've got the British boost on, like a 69 and later Marshall type thing, and then a bright switch to help it be a little crunchier as well. Turn it up a little on the upper end here. Mode, she rings really beautifully, but it's very interesting to me how even it is. The normally a humbucker to me 8 to 10 they're clear and open, and 0 to 3 In the middle, they lay a little flat, so they open up down low and up top, but this is just very even on that upper end. But kind of muted all the time. That's the beauty of this. I never knew till recently this little trick of a 250 on a humbucker when you're not running the tone knob. And I gotta say, it makes a big difference. They tend to be quite bright, and then you do it with a 500 and you'd have to tone your amp down quite a bit in the upper end, but she's a beauty. Dog hair finish, the silver and the grooves there, it's absolute beauty. Nice sort of paisley. This one happens to have their cloisons, I believe, but they're locking type, and I don't know if they help that much compared to the regular ones, but it's a nice little addition. But very cool guitar. I'm trying to remember when I post it, I'll put the weight on it. I think it's 7.5-ish or something like that. So I think it was about a 4 pound 7 ounce or thereabouts body by itself. But she's a rocker. If you like this sort of thing, I really think you'd like this one. I could decide pretty much. Even went up. That's a stay in tune rock and roll machine. Very hard to do. Jay, who sets these up and built this, is really become just an incredible master at tremolos. Both the more vintage looking one, they're both Wilkinson. This is the upgraded, better one. I like it. I like the design. It still keeps a very thin stamped steel kind of saddle, but it makes this little platform on top and has much less of an issue with the screws poking out. And so it's just quite comfortable up on top of that thing, and still roughly like a vintage type, and definitely stays in tune incredibly well. It's a great system and smooth how it comes over the bridge saddles there. So this is a great beauty, also very reasonably priced. You'll find it on Reverb here very soon. I forget, I think this one is going to only be, I think, $18.49 or thereabouts, depending on with or without the case there. But a great deal for a old-timey rock and roller. So we'll leave it there today. This is a beauty, finally getting to go to his home, and he should be very happy. It's a sweet, beautiful sounding 100-watt Emplexador. Very, very happy with this one. And that'll be it for today. Like us on the YouTube page, and have a good evening, boys and girls.